hang on a second. Ronaldo Gonzalez is our first, and this may be our first of the year candidate for the Debbie Downer Award.
No, that was you last week.
Well, yeah, but I'm ineligible for the award, so
Okay.
it's got to go to somebody in the comments section. And Ronaldo Gonzalez has been kind enough to throw his name into the hat, and is so far the winner of this week's Debbie Downer Award.
Is it like a latest comment, or is it? Sorry, I didn't realize it.
Yeah, it's his latest comment. He's referring to my commentary on Cam Ward, whether or not I think he's going to win the Heisman, because he said Miami isn't winning the ACC playing like that, and they aren't making the playoffs. That's why. And he's referring to my comment on. I'm not saying that Cam Ward is may or may not win the Heisman. I hate to break the news to you, Bubba, but you think I guarantee you think Georgia's making the playoffs, and they just played a terrible Kentucky team by one. Bad games are part of the season. I don't know why everybody thinks that you should blow everybody out in every game you play.
I told my brother that, Slim. He was here watching. He doesn't know a whole lot about football, and I said that to him. Like when we were down, like right before halftime, I was like, "Hey, so I really don't mind if Miami gets tested tonight, gets beat up a little bit tonight, and comes back and wins. And I do think it does give them, a little bit of that adversity and things like that. They know what it's like now to be behind. You don't want to end up in a game like that against somebody like Clemson." Or Louisville, for say. You'd rather them know what it's like to have to come back from behind, because I don't care who you are, what team you are, no matter who you no matter how good you are, no matter how bad you are, you're gonna have this game. Hopefully, the rest of our games. I don't want to go back to the Cardiac Canes days, please, for the love of God. I don't want to go back to that, but that was exciting tonight.
That was. I did not. I saw the pick before halftime. I had stepped out for a smoke, and I saw that defender just step right into it. I did not see the second pick. Can either one of y'all tell me what happened there?
Well, Alex is gone. He could probably tell you better than me. Which one? The second one?
The second interception.
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to think which one was which. They run together now. I hate thinking about that.
I know the one before halftime was when the defender just jumped the route, and I sat there watching it.
Oh, that was the one where he. I think he underthrew that route, to be honest. But yeah, the second one, I'm trying to think. I don't even remember, Slim. Just to be honest, I've blurred everything. I've become senile. I told you I aged 25 years in the past hour. So,
yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that was another one that was tipped up for some. I think I caught a clip of that. I think that was another one tipped up, but.
Prime time, while we're trying to remember what the hell we're talking about, let's make sure we don't forget Prime Time Rambo coming in with the $4.99 super chat there, supporting the channel. He says, with Damari still in a boat and using a scooter for mobility, the CBS will just have to grow into the role. You need rough games to get better. I do agree. That's exactly what I was saying too. You got to know what it's like to come from behind. A championship team, not that I'm saying that we are, but any team that is a championship team is going to know what it's like to come back and to deal with some adversity in a game.
Well, sure, and especially when you're playing that many young guys. I mean, you expect them to make mistakes, and I realized because of the game against Vanderbilt, everybody was down on Virginia Tech, and I'm not saying I'm up on them. But I also wasn't up on them in the offseason like a lot of people were. I had my opinion of them in the offseason was they were a 7 or 8 win team that was going to take over kind of the pit role and play spoiler for somebody. Granted, I called them playing spoiler to Clemson because that game is going to be in Blacksburg. I did not expect us to almost become the spoiler. If I'm just being honest.
Well, before like that was a point I was wanting to bring up, and I'm glad you did. Before the season was going, I'm like, you weren't. I remember this. You weren't that big on Virginia Tech, but everybody was talking about, well, what do they return to, like 21 starters or say 18, 21, somewhere in there. And,
Yeah.
it was, they were hyped as a team that was really going to be, taking over the ACC. I do believe Virginia Tech played a really good game tonight. I mean, that one guy, what was his name? Peepin or Poopin or Tootin? Tootin. I think his name was Tootin. Tootin. I mean, that guy's got a running game. I mean, he's a definite weapon for them. So
Well, and since you bring that up, I would like to pat myself on the back because, well, frankly, you just know how much I hate saying "I told you so," but I told you so. Us rushing for 13 yards in the first half last week was a problem.
Okay, Slim, we're going to give you that. Go ahead,
and yeah, go ahead, Alex.
Hello? No, I just want to know if I was in. I just want to know if I was in here. Continue.
We got
you
back, brother.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, Alex was talking about that to me earlier. He sent me a text talking about the running game. What do you think about the running game, Alex?
It looked like we weren't in the first half. It looked like we weren't even trying to run the ball, and then we tried to run the ball, and it was actually working out okay. So I don't know what the hell that was all about.
Do you think? Okay, so do you think Cam Ward's quest for the Heisman might have gotten a little ahead of in the first half and not sticking to a game plan that? And I mean, obviously the coaches are doing what they want to do, but I mean, everything's worked in the first couple games or first 4 games, with just running that offense, This was a different defense than we had to deal with in before. I mean, who is the guy that the leading sack?
He was the sack leader for the nation. And I saw when he went down and then they had to take him back to the locker room. God, his name escapes me now. It did. And is it just me, or like this was a problem last week too? It seemed like guys were just dropping like flies.
Yeah,
especially Virginia Tech players, and it got to the point where in the stadium, like people were just booing. Like every time a Virginia Tech player went down, because it was like I guess the fans just felt like they were stalling, because every time they went down, it seemed like it was on a drive where we had momentum.
Yeah, I saw good things tonight. The end of the game really makes me positive, but the beginning of the game really makes me say, "Wow, because I've kind of felt we've started slow every game of the season." And it seems like, I mean, even last week with South Florida, I caught little bits of the, first quarter and a half. We were on our way home, but it seemed like we were lagging, and then we picked up. Tonight, it seemed like we got jolted a little bit. We got thrown off what we were doing, and it thank God we put it together in the fourth quarter. But I like to see it. I like a comeback win. I think it gives them. A team that knows how to win will win again. A team that gets lucky every now and then or something like that makes no difference. But a team has to go through that adversity to know what it's like to come back, to know what it's like to be a team and to come back and win. And
well, there's an old adage in football. It's kind of the cycle that a team must go through. You win, you lose big. You lose close, you win close, you win big. And it very well, and it would actually fall right into that pattern that Miami is still in that win close category. which I personally don't have a problem with. I really don't.